Dear friends, I'm back with another machine on the Vulnhub, which is Hacksudo 2, which link will be added into the description section below so that you can download it. If you want to do this machine by yourself, I think it's important to watch this video because you will encounter the problem for the privilege escalation. To be honest, I spent a lot of time to sort it out. So without further ado, let's just get started. So then we can switch into the Linux VM. As you can see, I used the options of the scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, and also use the option of -p- to do the comprehensive scan. Then output the result into this file. From the map scanning, we can tell that the target has several open ports. Some of them are used by the NFS service, Network File Sharing Service. And this one is used by SSH service, which is not default port number. And the first one is AT, which is running HTTP service, and also the version information, which is Apache 2. And the next one is 111. I think this is not very useful for this machine. So what we are going to do next? We need to do emulation for the NFS service, because just I stated in the other videos, if you have already followed my channel, the file sharing service should become the first choice to emulate. This case should be NFS. So how to emulate? We can use the show mount with E option. As you can see, the target does have the share, and we need to mount this share on the target remotely. So how to do? First of all, we need to set up the share locally to be mounted on. So we can use mkdir share. Then we can sudo mount with the T option to specify the type of the device, and then NFS. This case should be NFS. To save time, I auto-complete this command. As you can see, no problem. Now we can go inside this directory. Here we got the first flag. Next, we need to check whether we can upload the file. For example, maybe I can use sudo touch test. We can. So I think later we can upload some special file onto this share. For now, we just go back to the upper directory. So what we are going to do next is to emulate the web application. So now we can launch our browser. As you can see, I've already opened up the target, and there's some information. As always, we need to check the source code of this page. We can scroll down. Nothing we can get from the source code. Next, we need to check whether this site has robots file. As usual, not found. Next, we can use the Nicto. Nicto can help us to discover information about the web application. For example, like version information, the header information, even can emulate out some common files or directories. For example, like a web, lib, test.html, info. So, of course, we need to make manual confirmation or immersion manually. And now we can test one by one. The first one is readme, so we can use Q. Yeah, we got the page back. Although there's some information here, however, it's useless from the perspective of penetration. Next, we need to check whether we can retrieve the info PHP. Yeah, we got the page back. I think this is the default PHP page, and we can use the browser, which is much clearer. Info. Yeah, here give us some version information and other configurations, which is configured by the target. However, such information cannot lead us to the exploitation for the machine. So we need to continue our immersion manually based on the discovery of the Nicto. Nicto, I think, yeah, I remember the Nicto discovered test.html. Nothing interesting. I will not wait for this to be loaded completely. And also, this site has web. The two directories both cannot give us the useful information. So now, maybe we can do the GoBuster to do the directory immersion. Audio, game. I will not check other files except this one, file.php. So we can use browser to access the discovered file. We got this page back. However, nothing very important we can get from this page. And we need to check the source code. Nothing important as well. So here, I think this message or this string is left by the author, file access. So maybe we need to do the fuzzing to get the parameter. Okay, so now we can use W. I'd like to autocomplete this command. As you know, I have already demonstrated how to make a fuzzing against LFI, local file inclusion vulnerability. Of course, you can use other word list, but for me, I always use this one. This is my favorite word list. Yeah, a lot of output. I think we can put the filter, which HW to specify the word length, right? Press enter. Yeah, as you can see, it's so quick to get the parameter name, which is a file. Next, we can, of course, can use browser to access file like password file. As you can see, we got the page back. So this discovery confirms our earlier guess that this target has LFI vulnerability, and we can get the username information. I think this is the any normal user. We can copy this username onto our notebook. Maybe I can use command line to do this testing against LFI vulnerability. File, PHP, and then file, password. As you can see, we can retrieve the content of a password. So then, of course, this is not enough for the exploitation. We need to do more testing to find a vector to, this point our purpose is to get initial foothold. In order for us to do that, we need to make some testing or additional testing. For example, we need to check whether we can access a private key of a user. For example, home, and the username is, maybe I do not need to copy, Hacksudo SSH private key. Maybe it will be safer to use single quote. We cannot get this file. Next, we can check whether we can access log file. We cannot as well. Next, we can check whether we can retrieve the access log of Apache 2. Nothing we can get. So how to do? Also, we can check whether this target has remote file inclusion vulnerability. Based on my practice, this is not the case for this machine. To save time, I will not make testing. So how to do? Do you remember? The target allows NFS or has enabled the NFS. And also we have already made a test to know that this target allow us to upload the file by or through NFS service. So how to do? We can copy the shell to the shell. Yeah, this is the mount point. However, permission denied. This Kali Linux VM, I got it from the internet. So by default, we are not root user. If you use similar environment as mine, you will also encounter such a problem. So how to solve this issue? We just use sudo and copy. Maybe I need to make sure my shell, reverse shell file is configured correctly. Yeah, you can get this file from the Pentesting Monkey or other websites. And then we can sudo copy shell and share. No problem. Now we can go inside the shell directory. As you can see, shell.php file is there. So now, how to access this file? And then we can, we can combine the vulnerability of the misconfiguration of NFS and LFI vulnerability. So how to do? Let me demonstrate for you here. And maybe I can open up another tab. And we can set up the listener first by netcat. Can we? Then we can access. Oh, sorry. Very important. We need to add the executable permission for the shell.php for everyone, with everyone, not just root user. So how to do? Otherwise, you will not succeed getting reverse shell. Yeah, this is a very important point I'd like to stress for you. So how to do? We just sudo change mode 777. This should be right. Okay. Now, go back to the browser and access the file, the shell.php. Of course, we need to provide the absolute path for the shell.php file. So how to do? mnt and nfs shell.php. It looks like it's working. As you can see, we got the reverse shell, which originated from the target. And then we can spawn the bash session. Of course, above all, we need to check the version of Python. Python 2 is not there on the target. How about Python 3? Python 3 is there. And then we can import pty module and run spawn method to spawn bash session. And now we need to do the local enumeration to make lateral movement or make privilege escalation. Hacksudo. Nothing we can get so far. And then we need to navigate across some important directories. Backups. Nothing there. HTML directory. How about config? Yeah, nothing important. So how to do? Maybe it's more efficient to upload or to use the NumPy shell script to do the automatic enumeration. We can open up a new tab and go to the working directory. And I've already got this shell script ready. Next, we need to upload this file to the target. So how to do? We can use, of course, just I mentioned again and again. The easiest way for me is to set up the web server locally on the Kali Linux. So we can use Python 3 and set up the server and or web server. Next, we can use wget to upload, followed by the IP address of the Kali Linux. Please don't forget to specify the port number, which is not default port number. NumPy. Next, we need to run this shell script. Before that, we need to change mode or make it executable. And then we can run this shell script. This script is so powerful for the automatic enumeration about the target. It can review information. For example, like username information, process information, SUID binary information, capabilities information, and so on and so forth. SUID binary information. So if the target is Linux machine, in almost every case, we need to use the NumPy shell script to do the enumeration. Of course, we need to, in the real scenario, we need to combine both manual enumeration and automatic enumeration. It's done. Then we can scroll up to the top to see whether we can find the vector or vectors to elevate a privilege. Yeah, we got this one. So I think this option, if you're not sure about it, we can use Google to make some research. And because this is highlighted in yellow and red, so it means that this should be the vector for us to elevate a privilege. So we can use Google. No root squash. Change the root user of the user and unprivileged user account. You can check them by yourself if you want. However, I have already opened up this website, which contains the steps on how to elevate the privilege by utilizing the misconfigurations of NFS service. Okay, so now we just go back to continue our scrolling to the top. Nothing else. I think cron job information. Although here the sudo version is not very updated. However, because this one is I do not want to use this one. This is not what the author expects, right? So I think next we need to utilize the no root squash option of the NFS to elevate. So how to do? Maybe we can open up another tab. Next, I think you will encounter the problem. And just I stated at the very beginning, I've spent very long time to sort it out. So if you encounter similar problem, please make sure to follow my instruction. Okay? So how to do? We just follow, as you can see, we copy the first command to generate the. Maybe we do not need, we can use the share, because this share is already mount directly. And then we have already made mount, right? We can copy the bash binary from the local machine, and then we can change mode. Because of the misconfiguration, we can add this SUID bit to the bash binary. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, the share, we can sudo copy bin bash to share directory. Yeah, this is the mount point of the target, or on the target through NFS. All right, let's press enter. No error. Next, we need to change mode or add SUID binary, SUID bit to the share bash. As you can see, no error so far. However, now you're going to see the problem. Now we can navigate to the share directory, NFS. As you can see, this bash binary we get from the local machine or Kali Linux, and then copy from the bin directory to the share directory. And also you can check the, not this one, which one? Yeah, here. This binary bash has SUID bit on. So next we can run bash with option of P to elevate a privilege. However, you will encounter this problem. This is I'd like to emphasize for you, because you will also encounter this issue. So how was I was going to solve this issue? I got different versions of the of the bash. We can, because it says, I think the issue is caused by the mismatching between the target and the compiled bash. Yeah, this is the issue, right? And to solve this issue, I got the different version of the bash. I mean the old bash. For example, we can go inside this directory. I tried many different versions of the bash and then use the same way. For example, change mode or add setuid bit and then run the bash with option of P. However, you always encounter the same error. Finally, I use this way. This way is the most or the best way to solve the issue. First, we need to check the version of the release and including the kernel information. And also we can cut out the release information. As you can see, this is the Ubuntu 20.10. So how to? We can download this image from the internet. Of course, there are different places where you can download such virtual machine image and then import this machine into the virtual box. As you can see over here, yeah, this one. And then we can copy the bash binary and copy and transfer to the Kali Linux. As you can see, I've already made a copy on the and save into the desktop. So now we can copy. We can copy from desktop the bash to the current working directory, and then we need to decompress. All right, so this is the binary. Of course, we can change mode. The bash, no error. Then we can sudo to copy this bash. This bash we got from the internet. And this virtual machine of Ubuntu matches our target machine. And then we can bash share. Oh, sorry. I think we need to remove the existing bash on the target. We can use the, or we do not have a permission to delete, permission denied. So we need to go back to the Kali Linux. We can sudo share bash. As you can see, no error. Then we can copy this bash, which exactly matches the target machine. I mean the bash version. So now we can share. Then we can sudo. And we can change mode. Share bash. Sudo add setuid bash. No error, right? So now we go back to the target's shell. As you can see, this one should work. And how to run? We can run bash with option of P. As you can see from the banner, we successfully elevated our privilege to root user. Then we can navigate to root directory and then retrieve the root flag. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.